Walk into any bustling intersection in Tokyo today, and amidst the neon and the noise, you'll notice a common thread right down at street level. Travel a continent away to a broad avenue in Kyiv, and the exact same pattern appears. Despite vast differences in language, geography, and culture, these crowds speak the exact same visual dialect. They are wrapped in rough blue cloth and walking on white rubber and canvas. At this scale, the blue cloth and white canvas act as a non-verbal password for millions of people who have never met. Modern industrial manufacturing is built on a strict rule: eliminate variance. A factory's entire purpose is to stamp out thousands of identical copies, ensuring no single item deviates from the master plan. Jeans and canvas sneakers are born from this exact same mechanized process. They pour off global assembly lines by the absolute millions. But here is the anomaly. If two people buy the exact same pair of factory-fresh pants, check back in 12 months. One pair will be deeply creased at the knees, the other frayed at the hem. The identical copies have become entirely distinct objects. How does something born from the coldest, most impersonal mass production system on Earth turn into the most intimate, unique item a person can own? The answer doesn't lie in how these garments are put together on the factory floor. It lies in what the raw materials are biologically destined to do the moment they leave it. In the harsh, unpaved mining towns of the late 19th century American West, luxury was a liability. Laborers needed thick, unforgiving utility, plain and simple. In 1873, Levi Strauss and tailor Jacob Davis patented a solution, driving copper rivets into the stress points of thick denim. They bound the fabric with heavy industrial sewing methods designed to survive dirt, rock, and sweat. A few decades later, the Converse Rubber Shoe Company applied a similar logic to footwear. They built shoes using only cheap vulcanized rubber and raw canvas, resulting in a defenseless, naked simplicity. Because neither of these designs carried the slightest hint of wealth or status, they inadvertently handed the public an entirely blank slate. When the materials are so inexpensive and devoid of ornament, the visual cues of status disappear. A factory worker and a millionaire can stand side by side in the same fabric, creating an anonymity that political reforms often struggle to achieve. This casual uniform formed a blue code, a visual language of freedom that spread globally without a single military order, carried instead by the cultural momentum of athletes, musicians, and everyday expression. Eventually, this code slipped past heavily guarded borders, penetrating the Iron Curtain. In the Soviet bloc, Western pants transformed from simple casual wear into smuggled icons of personal liberty. Citizens handed over a full month's wages on the black market to secure a single pair. They altered them, mended them, and passed them down. An entire geopolitical superpower attempted to ban a specific weave of cotton, and the cotton won. To understand exactly why people connect so deeply with these items, you have to look at the micro-level physics of the fabric itself. A diamond or a gold watch is static. It ignores the wearer. But cotton, denim, and rubber are reactive. They stretch under tension, and they bend and mold as they absorb your physical movement. Every step you take applies daily friction to the cloth. In a very real sense, the fabric acts as an analog recording device, documenting your habits and your environment. The indigo dye rubs off specifically where your knees bend. The pockets thin out exactly where you keep your phone. Even the canvas of the shoe warps to match the precise anatomical shape of your stride. The factory provides the identical starting point, but the daily friction of a human life is what makes the final object unique. Today's retail environment operates on anxiety. The fast fashion industry thrives by making you feel obsolete, demanding that you discard yesterday's purchases for today's trend. Worn denim offers the opposite psychological experience. It accepts you exactly as you are. The fabric demands no physical flawlessness, and it comfortably accommodates an aging body. In fact, the aesthetic hierarchy is entirely flipped. A pristine, glossy new sneaker feels incomplete next to a battered one scrawled in ink and worn down to the threading. Choosing to wear these visibly damaged items is a deliberate rejection of artificial consumer cycles. It is a quiet vow of fidelity to the authentic. Eventually, these items reach a threshold where they reach their peak of character. They become so thoroughly worn in, so perfectly faded, that they actually stop aging. There is a rare emotional security in finding a single piece of clothing that can faithfully walk with you through your youth, directly into middle age, without ever looking out of place. Lacing up a pair of canvas shoes and pulling on rough blue cloth is a daily declaration. It is a reminder that true individuality isn't something you purchase, it is something you live in.